Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be doing this beautiful setup. The theme was a little cutie pie. What's the theme? A little a cutie pie, something like that. You guys know the theme. So we are getting started. We are working on the white acrylic circle wall today. This is my first time working on this wall. I worked on a grass wall like the circle one, but not the white acrylic one. And you guys know I have started trying to blend more, so I've been using more quads inside my Garland. And you guys, I haven't done, so I'm gonna be completely honest, I was winging this so bad. I haven't done a half Garland in so long, and I don't even think that wasn't even the plan when I started, but that just ended up how it ended up being. I was so tired doing this setup. I had like 2 events the day before. I had like 2 events back to back. Then I also had another event the next day. I'm going to be uploading these in a unorganized way as well, so you guys will get the bridal shower video first and then this one. This was actually the day before the bridal shower, but I wanted to upload the bridal shower one first because you guys really went off on that setup, so I wanted to give that to you guys first. But yeah, I'm basically starting off. Honestly, I was a little scared during the midst of doing this because I'm like, what am I doing? I didn't know. I didn't know what I felt like I didn't know what I was doing, you guys. I mean, it came together, but in the middle of it, I'm telling you, I was going crazy in my head. Like, what is this looking like, ma'am? Like, what is this? But I'm just continuing. The thing is, you just got to continue to shape the balloons and figure out the shape as you're going along. Well, that's what I do. And if you start to like it, then I just leave it. And if I don't, then I will use that step of removing and keeping going. So to get to the next color, I'm going to add in that quad as I just did. And then from there, I'm going to add in a cluster of either 8 or a cluster of 6. Okay, that is a cluster of 8. So I'm adding in a cluster of 8. And that's how we got to the next color. So that's how I've been doing it lately, to bring in a new color instead of bringing in a quad of 8 or 6 balloons. I am doing a quad first and then bringing in that cluster of 8 or 6 balloons. And I'm using that clear gaff tape again, you guys. If you've been watching the last few videos, then you guys know I've been loving this clear gaff tape. I'll leave it in the description box again, as well as all the colors will be listed in the description box. You guys know they are double stuffed, so I leave both colors that I use in the description. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, you guys. It really goes a long way, and I always forget to say it for the mostly every video I forget. But please don't forget. Also with this, one thing about doing, I guess, designs with so many colors, I try to identify my main color, my accent color, so main color, the secondary color, a neutral color, and then my accent color. In this setup, my main color was the orange, of course. My secondary was the mint green kind of, sort of. And then my accent color was that pearl peach color. And then my neutral color was kind of that, how can I explain? That was lace inside white, but it gave it more of like a milky peachy look. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. So those are the colors. And I try to identify colors like that in every setup I do. Every color does not get the same amount of balloons or the same display in my designs. I always try to identify like the main color, then the secondary color, then the accent color, especially if it's just a 3-color design. The main color will have more balloons than the secondary and then the accent, of course. And it's easy to identify those kind of patterns when you're working with like accent balloons, like a reflex gold or silver. Usually any kind of chrome color, unless it is the main color, will be the accent color, and then you have like your other main colors. So it's easy to identify. But when you're working with like maybe all neutral colors, I find it easier to design on site and how I like to position my balloons by color. I find it easier to identify them and put them in a certain category. So I know that, okay, I want to have more of this color versus, you know, the accent color, whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's how I pretty much start when I am designing or thinking of design. And I start that process before I even inflate. That way I know how much I may need, or I will make sure to purposely inflate more of the main color. That way I know I'm going to use more of that in my design and it's going to show up more. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about that, if I need to explain it a little bit more, just let me know. But this is me. I'm still going in, adding in more clusters. So basically, I will go over this again, you guys. I use clusters of 6, 8, and then a quad of 4. And I will go back. I'm going to go back to that. But yeah, so those are what I use in my garlands right now. This garland, surprisingly, I didn't have any large balloon in this garland. So this garland was completely built out of 11 and 5-inch balloons, which I haven't done in a while either. So it's a lot of things I haven't done in a while in this video. But we definitely figured it out. We definitely did. The only annoying part, let me say this, the only annoying part that I don't really care for about using, and this is me just adding in some more quads to fill in the areas. The only annoying part about using quads throughout the garland versus like clusters of 6 and 8 balloon is you have to do a little bit more shaping to make sure the balloons are not falling in the back, because it's not as, because the cluster is not as full, or I guess dense, I don't know, compared to like a cluster of 6 and 8, then the quads can sometimes fall into the back and you gotta like lift the balloons up to reshape it. But yeah, that's the only annoying part about working with them. But I honestly, I don't mind, because I do like the outcome of blending the balloons a little bit more. And as you guys see on that right side, it was like mint green going all the way down to the right. I absolutely did not like that, and I'm going to end up ripping out the cluster at the bottom. That's one of the pros of tying your garlands next to neck. I'm not saying it's the only way to do it, but it is one of the pros of tying. And I just made that quad that was at the top, I changed that to a cluster of 6 balloons to fill it up a little bit more. But right there, you see I ripped it out. That's one of the pros. Just if you don't like something and how it's looking, you can just rip it out and plug something else in. And that way, I didn't like the green going straight down, so I plug in the orange just so it can kind of flare it out a little bit more. And again, that was my main color, so I didn't mind using that color again. As you can see in the garland, we have like 3 swatches of orange, then we have 2 of the green. Everything else is pretty much 2-2, but the even though the green have a little bit more than the, I guess, the pearl and then the neutral color, the orange clearly has a lot more, since it had 3 different areas. And now I'm just going in, adding in my 5 inches. All my 5 inches usually are pre-inflated. I use my Legenda, which is, I use it on 0.7. And I make sure the neck is pretty much completely down on the Legenda. And that way the air go all the way up to the top. And then, what else? I was about to say something. I lost my train of thought. And I'm tying the 5 inches neck to neck. If I can't find a neck in the garland, I will cut a 260 in half, because you guys know I'm cheap. So I'm going to cut a 260 in half. It saves you material, and then I will just twist them around. I brought this floral with me that I had in the house already because of the theme. I thought it would be perfect to add some more extra accents in the balloons. And I just pushed them in. I'm not tying them on to anything. I just pushed them in. And I'll try to find the link again. I got this from Amazon, but I will try to find a link for that. And I'm just making sure it is an even amount. They are all over the place. And this is the final result. The old baby sign I got from a local vendor. It was wood, and I just spray painted it orange. And then I used the back of the what is it, the stuff you hang on the walls, but I cut them up in small pieces, and I put it on the back and pushed it onto the acrylic wall, and that's how I got that sign up. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, you guys. Bye.